Oh, it worked.
Oh, good lord. Was that the same voice as the first time? It's so scary.
Yeah, it is. Okay. I actually have phlegm in my throat.
You okay? What's up, everybody? I'm Father.
We're not doing "What's up, everybody" as the intro.
Okay, fine. Hi, I'm Father,
and I'm the Son,
and together we're Father and Son. And that's
what's up,
pretty
everybody?
much all.
Welcome to the.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we want you to know. So, good night, good luck, and
Mazel tov.
And Mazel tov. Yeah, we actually only made this so that we could announce to the world that I am in fact Jer's biological father, and he is my son. And you don't have to believe it; it's just true.
Yeah, this is gonna go into a great blooper reel.
You're not including this?
No.
Okay.
Not you said you didn't want it to be as scuffed as last time. And
it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
You know what? Yeah.
Just keep it.
I am leaving it in.
All this. And you know something, Jer? Every time you say I'm cutting this out, you don't cut it out. Like,
well, yeah, it's because my brain says, am I gonna cut this out? Probably not.
Yeah. Well, Jer, I have something that I need your input on. Okay.
Do you?
I've been thinking about this all week, and I know I don't need to preface this, but I need you to take this way serious. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So, well, first of all, I don't know why everything has to have a prelude question to it, but do you know what a derringer is?
Yeah.
It's like that tiny, for people who don't know, it's like a tiny little gun with only one bullet in it, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes two. Okay. So
22s.
Yeah. So imagine you're a cowboy in the Old West, okay?
Okay.
And the average cowboy probably has a 6-shooter, maybe 2, if not 2 6-shooters, then maybe like a rifle. And then he probably has like a
Where
knife.
is this coming from?
Well, I just thought of this the other day. I just need you to listen, okay?
Okay.
All right. So regardless of what kind of guns he has, he's probably got like a belt or a bandolier or a pouch with like some extra ammunition in it, right? But if you're in like a shootout at the saloon or whatever with your posse, doesn't it take less time to just have a belt full of derringers to just squeeze off like one shot then another shot instead of taking the time to reload a gun? Like, wouldn't you say that's a better strategy? Like, of course you have to reload eventually, but
no, not in any way.
You don't think it buys you some extra time? Well, no. When would I have ever shot a derringer?
No, you go to a shooting range or something like that. You sometimes have them, like the little 22 pistols. Okay, so this is the problem with the derringer and any kind of like 22 pistol that's, you know, has a very, very small what's it called? Barrel.
Yeah.
Guns with very small barrels that are shooting 22s that aren't, you know, rifle barrels are very inaccurate. Like they're about accurate up to like 2 or 3 feet, right? The point of a derringer is you pull one out and you shoot somebody point blank almost, right? You're never going to try and aim and shoot it. I personally can say that I'm fairly accurate with one because I've proven it before. I got, I think, $10 from somebody. I made a bet with one of my family friends. He was like 18 at the time. I was like 11. And he had one of those little derringer guns. I don't know if it was a derringer specifically, but it was a little tiny revolver that shot 22s. It was very tiny. And he gave me 3 shots to hit something that was about like, I think like 15 feet away, right? Or 15 to 20 feet away. Pretty far for one of those to ever hit, you know? About from me to the opposite wall, right? I hit it on the 3rd shot and just looked him in the eyes, me being like half his size, and held out my hand. That's how like I was just like, suck it. But no, so to explain that, the reason that's inefficient is because if you got a 6-shot or 2 6-shooters, right? If you make it count and you don't miss because you're a good shot, that's 12 shots right there, right? And you can be a lot more accurate with that than you can be with the tiny ass little like.
Yeah, but I just figured like it wouldn't be about like accuracy. It would just be like if you're out of ammo in both your 6-shooters and there's still people like shooting at you, like maybe you're crouched behind the bar or something, and you don't have time to reload, then maybe you buy yourself a little more time by just having a few derringers like
You're not gonna
strapped
hit
to your
anybody
chest.
with it unless they're right in
It's
front
not,
of you.
well, maybe you won't hit them, but at least you'll like keep them, hiding behind their wall or whatever.
If somebody sees you pull a derringer out and like point at them from
Maybe
like
I've just seen too many
20 feet
movies.
away, there's no way that's gonna hit. They're gonna look at you like you're an idiot and shoot you in the face.
Okay,
Like that's the thing is like
that's
it's a lot
funny for
more
me.
intelligent to have one of your friends, right? So you don't both shoot at the exact same time every single shot you have, and you're both reloading there for like 15 minutes. No, you have one person be shooting and covering you while you reload, and you switch places and start shooting after that. Why
But
are
what
we
if you
talking
don't
about the
have another
logistics of
person?
Cowboy Ages?
Because it's interesting
I
to
mean,
me.
you're right, but still, like
Maybe
dude,
we'll have an EvCo
I think we should talk
production
about another
Western.
kind of age. You know what that age is?
What's that?
Age of consent.
God, I'm leaving. We're done.
I think it should be 25.
Goodbye. I'm leaving. Bye. I'm actually walking out the door.
I actually left.
No,
I am quite comfortable with the age of consent being where it is.
I hope so. 'Cause that's a really controversial subject. If you start trying to suggest there should be a different one.
Yeah, no, it should stay where it is.
Yeah. I guess it's less controversial. Were you going to raise it or lower it?
Raise it.
Okay.
Like you raise the roof.
I
think it should be at least 95 before you can have consensual sex.
I think you should not use raise the roof. I think that's the bigger issue here.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I shall take the roof and raise it as my own. I can't take credit for that joke. I think somebody made that joke before.
Wait, whose joke was it?
I don't know, but they said it like way funnier, and I was just like, "Holy crap, that was amazing!"
No, that was hilarious.
Like a tweet.
I've never heard it.
It wasn't said that way, but they took it and it was an actual tweet, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's hilarious!"
Oh, that's so good, dude.
Hold on. I shall take the roof and raise.
You don't have to Google.
Though it be not mine, I will raise it as my own or something like that.
Uh-huh.
And raise it as my own. I want to see this meme. Raise the roof meme. Hold on.
Your FBI agent right now is just like,
dang it! All of these are like the like really really bad old meme spoofs. Like it was a tweet. Hold on. Raise the roof. Wheat meme?
What do you mean by the really old ones? Like the ones that were inside the black square with the
with the words.
Yeah. I always hated that. I'm glad memes moved beyond that.
Yeah, no, memes are what meme was actually coined, the term meme.
It's older than you'd think, isn't it?
It's very old. It's actually really old.
Yeah.
It was 1976, a British evolutionary biologist. No, it wasn't. It was not Dawkins that introduced meme. Meme definition, historical facts pertaining. Meme, unit of cultural information spread by imitation. The term meme from the Greek meme, memia. Meme? Mima? Mimima. Something like that. Meaning imitated, was introduced in 1976 by... It was Richard Dawkins! The work Selfish Gene. Conceived of a meme as a cultural parallel to the biological gene and considered them in a manner similar to selfish genes. So yeah, that's what it was. A social. It's like a little tidbit of our social lives passed down through imitation. So that's your brief history on memes, and we will no longer continue talking about it because we could talk about memes for legitimate years.
Well, one day we'll have a 4-hour special where we
should just like
we really should.
I should do some research on the history of memes and like make an entire like paper. Like a 20-page paper.
You can do that if you want. I write too many papers already. I'm not.
I should write a paper like a thesis on how memes have affected our culture.
I guarantee you there are others out there that
have done that for like a final paper.
But like yeah, I was gonna say, but actually like turned it in.
Of course they have, and the thing is like they can do that because it's historical. It's part of our history now.
I respect them for it. I salute them.
Memes are fairly old now. It's pretty interesting. You
Yeah,
know,
I
like
guess they are.
I don't know, dude.
When
Memes
would you say you first like regularly checked a website
for
or a
memes.
feed for memes? Like when did you really get into it?
So it started when I was like, I don't know what, 11 or 12. What happened is that, excuse me, and this is how I first got into memes. Was ah, dang it, man, I
Are
couldn't
you like
breathe.
having the hiccups? What are you doing?
I had a bunch of like nastiness in my face.
Okay.
I'm kind of got a cold right now. But what happened is that my sisters would get memes from like iFunny and things like that, and just funny things from everywhere, Pinterest, anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Back when I was like 11 or 12, and they would take that and they would save those memes to their iPhoto or iCloud, right? To their phones, and
Yeah.
all our phones and iPods shared an iCloud. So every time I would update it, I would get all their memes.
My family was like that too with photos.
So I got copious amounts of like really good like memes because like my sister's sense of humor was actually not trash. They were pretty funny.
Mhm.
And at least 11-year-old me thought so, that they're hilarious. And so I would take those memes and just like get thousands upon thousands of photos over the course of like 3 or 4 years, or 3 years, I think was how long I had the iPod, from like 11 to 14. And so like for that time, I just had so many, like a giant storage of memes because of that. And that was like my main intake of memes was for my sisters posting them on our iCloud. And then after that I heard about this app called iFunny. And I was like, "What's iFunny?" My sister's like, "You might not want to get it. It's kind of inappropriate sometimes, but there's some funny stuff on it." I was like, "Well, I'll see what about it. I'll check to see it." And I got it, and lo and behold, 5 years later, it is still on my phone. So
Really? You still have it?
I still have it. It goes through phases where it's like good memes, bad memes.
Uh,
But mainly just I use it because like yeah, there's a lot of memes on there that are dog. They're not good.
mm.
But like there's also the occasional rare good meme, and because of that, I still have it just for the fact that sometimes there's like a couple of good memes that just come out of the blue, and so I keep it for searching and sifting. Because I don't use Twitter, I don't use social media, I don't use Instagram, and so like I avoid all of those like the plague. And
Well, I
because
mean,
of
even
that,
I don't think they have a very good, at least not anymore. They don't have a very good distribution of memes either.
mhm,
Like I have Instagram and I scroll it probably too often, and I only find a couple good memes a day.
yeah.
But
So that's
my main
yeah.
source has always been friends. Like not even scrolling myself.
Yeah.
Like I'll just get memes from people that I know.
Mhm. People are the best way to get memes like from, like they tend to have, because like it's like crowdsourcing, right? They'll find them
Yeah,
for you. So
yeah.
but yeah, it's quite the interesting thing how cultures differentiate in their mediums of like actually, spreading things.
Hmm.
Like a long time ago it was um comic book strips from newspapers. That was the main thing.
Right.
It's like, oh, did you see the strip in the paper this morning? People are like, yeah, it was hilarious. And it's like Bunny and Fufu sitting on a like a fucking like a chair together, and they're just like, do you know what latex gloves are? Haha, latex gloves.
That sounds
Haha.
more like a Seinfeld episode.
Well, anything along
There's
those
a
lines of like
Seinfeld
they're
episode about
not literal
latex.
jokes, but like really bad puns that are like sort of witty in the sense that they're a play on words or a play
Yeah,
on
yeah,
like
I've seen them. Like the Far Side comics.
yeah, like they're not exactly good, but then again I laugh at like creatures in a base boosted image that like just say something like for example, there was one that said like millennial humor is so weird, and then it's like Gen Z humor, and then right below it is just a creature that has a spoon and there's a bowl of cereal, and it's over it and it just says flake, and like I lost my shit.
Exactly. See, and I just
Like
laughed too. Like that's what's funny to our
it's like
generation.
people are just like they always get mad at like the older generation for like laughing at that kind of stuff, and then I'm just like, y'all, we laugh at still images that have like legit no like wittiness to them or anything. They're cursed,
It's
and we
about
laugh for that sole fact that it's like unconventional in the
yeah,
sense of
it's about what's unexpected, and it's about shock value.
yeah, it's a very
Like,
shock based
that's really what it
culture,
is.
like in that sense. But like, don't get me wrong, it's starting to transition from that into like really ironically stupid memes. Like for example, like the one that I showed you yesterday, the more like the monkey
Yeah,
spinning.
that's yeah. I'm not quite there yet. I don't think.
There's some that are like he really do be vibing though, and it's just like a monkey with a blunt, and you're just like, yeah, oh,
It's like,
nice.
well,
Like
he do be vibing.
he do be vibing. You're
I
just
can't argue
laughing.
with
Like
that.
I can't argue with that logic.
I can't say he ain't vibing.
I cannot claim that this monkey is not in fact vibing. That would be a violation of the Geneva Convention.
Okay, Thomas Jefferson, cool it off there.
Cool
You
your
write
jets,
that, but
Jefferson.
that font is like in cursive.
Cool your jets, Jefferson. I want that as a shirt.
Cool your jets, Jefferson.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
no, I mean, speaking of like kind of like older I guess things and older like situations and memes and all that, like were memes getting popular around the time that um like when you started like did you when you played games, was that like when Halo Reach was like a thing?
Yeah. So, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm not much of a gamer. But the heyday for video games for me was definitely, um, or in the Halo Reach / Black Ops 2 days.
Yeah.
And now that you say it, it does feel like around that time, memes and certain video games took off
Yeah.
around the same time.
I think those really formed together in a way. Like because the same people that looked at memes were the same people that played video games. Like the
Hmm.
same people that took a large intake and a large amount of like large quantities of memes played video games, right? And so I
Yeah.
think video game memes, like you know how like video game memes like kind of dominate in some ways. Like a lot of memes are based off of like gaming channels or things like that, or different video
Right.
game quotes and things like that. Like half the percentage of it, probably like half of the memes that I see at least, a lot of them are more gaming based in some way or another. You know, at least connected to it, whether it's a streamer or it's any of that kind of stuff, right? I think that's because memes were starting to get popular, and the people that would look at memes in a large amount as kids or as like young adults, that kind of stuff, were playing video games at the same time. And so you tend to connect things in your life to stuff that you're doing in large amounts, right? So like if you're looking at a lot of memes but you play a lot of video games, if you're making a meme, it's most likely going to be based on quote like a video game. And
It's
so
really the
like
two
yeah.
defining aspects
Hmm.
of our generation's culture. So it really only makes sense that they were going to come together, even if they hadn't
Hmm. Yeah.
started gaining popularity at the same time. I think they still would have been
Hmm.
meshed together.
Kind of like a mesh in an odd way, like memes in video games rise against. That's the Gen Z way,
It really is
Like,
the Gen Z way.
like for example, like the my favorite thing is like gamers are the most oppressed race. I love that. Like gamers rise up, like we're the most oppressed. Like,
But aren't we?
yeah, we are, dude. Gamers are the most oppressed. They really
like,
are.
like I'm not even a true gamer, but all my friends are gamers, and I still feel the oppression.
You feel it via connection. You're
Yeah,
just like,
like I was treated as a gamer, even though I
I
technically
really
wasn't.
want to make a joke, but I know that it's gonna fall. It's funny, but I don't want to get into it. So
Well, now you've
I'm
now you
gonna. I'm
you have
okay.
to.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I might leave it in. I might not. I'm not sure. But
That's fine.
basically, I was gonna say it's like you being an association is like comparing somebody who's like white trying to say that they feel for black people whenever like they're like I'm apologizing, and it's just like I feel for you, and it's like no you don't, shut up. Like it's not the same thing, but it's like somebody is like just secondhand feeling for somebody else's oppression in a way, except I would argue that the gamer one is more accurate and a little bit more
Well, I wasn't.
sensible.
I'm not intentionally seeking to feel that oppression. I just
Somebody
felt it.
did. What if somebody did? They're like, I'm not a gamer, like, but I want to feel your oppression.
That's so weird. Like, imagine actually approaching a person, and that's like your opening line to start a conversation with them. Like, "Hi, You're oppressed, and I want to feel that oppression. Who phrases it like
What
that?
is the point of that?
I want to feel it.
I want to feel your
Feel
oppression so that I can be alongside. I think it's more of a like they're trying to feel better about themselves. You know, I
I
don't know.
guess.
I don't know much about the subject. I don't really understand any of it. You know, like
You mean the human psyche? Because
yeah, the human psyche is a little bit weird because I don't. First
a
off,
little
I don't
bit.
see how. Okay, this is one thing. I don't get racism as
I
a
mean,
whole. I think most people shouldn't get racism. Like that should be something that people
yeah.
don't understand in the first place. But I do. I legitimately don't understand it. Like I don't. I don't understand how that would be a differentiation between peoples. You know, like I judge people based off of their actions and the way they speak and who they are, not like what they look like most of the time. Um,
I
but
feel like
like,
um,
mhm.
a lot of it must have been. I can only imagine it must have been generational and
It
like
had to have
something that was
been.
passed down
Yeah.
because I I don't know if this is true,
Mm.
obviously, but it seems to me that the older generations were a lot more into like, oh, everything that our parents told us was true,
Yeah.
and I'm passing it down to you,
We
and
question a
everything I
lot
tell you
more.
is true. Yeah, we do question a lot more, us younger folks these
We
days.
question a lot of people a lot more. And
Yeah.
sometimes I'm not gonna lie, sometimes those questions are really stupid and like
Oh, for sure.
it's no longer a point of like questioning a lot more. It's like asserting a lot more that doesn't have any factual basis behind it. But
Yeah.
it's like it's very odd how like if you think about like 6 years ago, a majority of it was like everyone was trying to talk about like everything's based on scientific fact and whatnot, you know. And nowadays it's like a lot of it is like scientific fact has been whipped out the window and it's everything is about how you feel about a subject. And that's not me like trying to pinpoint a singular group of people or anything like that, but you know, science has become a mute tool because it if you try and use this is the worst part. If you try and use science to prove your point without the science actually backing it and you're just trying to dig deeper and deeper and deeper into it, eventually you'll get to a point where it's irrefutable and you have proven the fact against yourself so much so that you can't use science anymore and you have to go for something completely different from science. You can no longer use science because science will not back you up, right? It's too logical. So you have to go for the illogical. You have to go for the human mind, the human heart. You have to
Well,
address
yeah,
intellect
I
feelings
feel
and
like,
the way people feel
but
about
I
stuff.
feel like nowadays it's not even like if you take an average person who's like on social media and
Hmm.
having a debate, it's not even science. It's just like I'm right because I'm alive. Like
Yeah.
I have a
Everything's
right
about
as
how
a
you feel.
person to believe whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of relativism, not
Mm,
just moralistic, but everything. Everything's relative, you know.
yeah.
Which I think the world is cyclical in that nature, as because there was a time when this was something that happened a lot. There was a lot of moral relativism and a lot of relativism in general, and then it got so bad that it flipped, you know. And I think it'll always do that until the end of time. But
Probably.
um, I mean,
Because
until like
if it's one
yeah.
thing, if there's one thing that people suck at, it's using history to learn from our mistakes.
Oh my gosh,
Like
people don't.
people preach that, but they don't do it.
They don't do it, exactly, and I don't know, it's crazy to me, but, like, I don't know, I mean, for me, like, this is kinda going back to the whole, like, what it was as a kid, you know, and I kinda wanna I don't know, I just I don't know. The world's kind of a wacky place, and I guess we can just settle on that fact that it's always gonna be weird. We don't wanna get, like, political or anything like that here and talk a
And
whole lot
and
about
that's why we
yeah,
immerse ourselves in
mhm.
fictional worlds
Yeah, dude,
like
fictional worlds are
video
like
games.
that's a really good point because people I think a lot of people that play video games get sick of the real world so much and all the crap that's put into it and all the lies and the deceit and the struggles between people and just throw themselves into a video game. Like for me, my biggest escape when I was younger was I at first didn't have an escape, right? Until I found Minecraft. And that's not even a
There it
joke.
is.
I when I was younger, I didn't get to play very many games, but I always played with a friend. Like I didn't play video games besides the N64, and even then I didn't play very much until I met this friend. And I don't know his last name, or I know his last name, but I'm not gonna say it. His name is Leighton. And I played with him all the time. He was my best friend. I hung out from first till fifth grade, so I knew him for 5 years. And every single Saturday and that kind of stuff, I go over to his house and He showed me Skyrim. He introduced me to Skyrim. He introduced me to like a bunch of other games, GTA 5. I didn't get to play it, of course, but
I was gonna say when you were in 1st through 5th grade, you were playing GTA.
yeah, I didn't get to play it, but he showed me. Or not even GTA 5, Saints Row. Saints Row is even worse, but still. But Reach, he showed me Reach, and then eventually he told me about this one game. He's like, dude, there's this game. It's called Minecraft. It's awesome. And I was like, what are you talking about? It was weird. I had a picture in my brain when he explained it to me, like what it was all about, like what it was. And when I started playing it, it was nothing like that. I started playing back in probably 4th grade. So if I was in 4th grade, that was I'm first year of college, 4 plus 1, so about 9 years ago. So that was in, let's see, it's 2020 right now, so that was 2011. Minecraft version in 2011. What was Minecraft version in 2011? That was, let me see.
I was only playing the Pocket Edition, and not even the regular Pocket Edition, the Pocket Edition Lite.
Oh my gosh.
Back in 2011, because I'd only just been introduced.
Yeah, man, I started playing in beta. I played in Java Edition beta. That's how old it is. That's how old I like started playing Minecraft ago. It was like I played it Minecraft in beta before they had like anything in there. It had like server-side inventories. It supported special events and specific dates during holiday period. New blocks and like when the squid came out, dude. This is when like Redstone X started happening and like all the stuff. Like, dude, I remember when Redstone came out. That's how like long ago I played this game.
It was a big thing.
No, dude, the Minecraft days were the bomb diggity for me, man. I started playing that all the time. My trashy laptop could handle it, so I got Minecraft on my laptop and I played so much Minecraft, like hours and hours were poured into it. And actually, I played enough that I started a YouTube channel based on Minecraft. It was really bad. But,
what? You never told me that.
Yeah, no. This is Gerald, but it's like old Gerald.
Do those videos still exist?
You can't see them, but they exist. I locked them. Okay. But it's funny enough that I actually, dude, like the Minecraft days were actually banging because I played Minecraft in beta. I got through that. I played a lot with myself and Leighton. We play a lot. But what happened is that after I stopped hanging out with Leighton, when I hit the 7th grade, excuse me, in early 2013, I think, or 2014, maybe even 2015.
It had to be. I was in 7th grade from 2012 to 2013, so it had to be 2014 for you.
Okay, so around 2014 time, 2014, 2015 time. I might have just hit 8th grade too. I'm not sure. I actually met one of my really, really good friends, Alex, aka Lexi, aka Sophie, you know, all that whack stuff. But I actually met Alex through that time because she was making a Minecraft series, right? And so she was playing Minecraft, and it's amazing how this even worked out, but making a video, and I just messaged on the YouTube video. I was like, hey, because I basically what I did is I looked up like small YouTube channels Minecraft, right? And Sariza was one of the first ones to pop up, and I was just like, oh,
wait, like cool. You were purposely looking for somebody?
I was purposely looking for somebody to play with, and I found it. It had like 15 views. I clicked on it, and I was like, it was Renovar Caverns, and it's a classic. Don't even worry about it. I'll explain that later. But basically, it's just an adventure map. But I messaged and I was like, hey, my name is Jeremiah. I have a channel called Jared Bro Plays. I do Let's Plays. Do you want to do a collaboration with me? It was like, we can talk if you want to. Here's my Skype. And I DM'd this through YouTube DMs when that was a thing. And and she was like, yeah, totally, sure. That would be awesome. And so messaged me back. We got on Skype, and yeah, no, but that was the first time I ever met somebody else on the internet. I met Alex, and Alex is a year older than me, I think. So Alex, Sophie, whatever. We'll call Sophie because that's preferred. So, but Sophie got me into playing way more Minecraft and recording, and we just hit it off. We just started talking like every day, basically. We played a lot of different things. Like BTD5 was a huge one, but dude, those were the heyday Minecraft days for me. Those were the days that I played Minecraft every day. I had a new friend group. It was me and Sophie and 2 others, and we played Minecraft all the time. We played BTD5 all the time, but it was mainly Minecraft, and we played like on different like servers and whatnot. We played a lot of mini games and had like our own adventure worlds. And this was back when Minecraft was getting updated constantly, and was having like super new things to us, like revolutionary, right? Like when the Nether came out, we were there, and it was so weird, like all of that stuff. But dude, Minecraft was such a big portion of my life, and that was about the time that I started actually watching Minecraft videos too. I actually watched Minecraft videos before I ever got to play the game. But I watched people like Double, Sky Does Minecraft, all that stuff. And I think, interestingly enough, I think Sky Does Minecraft and that group was one of the first, if not the first, YouTube channels to play a game, not for the whole like quote unquote let's play content, but for the just playing the game itself and it being more of a background where funny stuff was happening. Because Minecraft and Gmod were the first 2 games where playing a game was a mini game instead of like an actual game. So like, for example, there was this thing called Minecraft Prisons where basically it was a role play where, I don't know if, do you remember Minecraft Prisons?
I don't know if I've heard of Minecraft Prisons.
So it was a role play where basically you would have 4 people, and this is when command blocks came out. So this is when like you could actually do some really cool stuff with them, and it helped out a lot with that kind of stuff. But you would role play. You would have 4 people as prisoners. It was called Cops and Robbers. You'd have 4 people as prisoners, 1 person, or how many people as prisoners, 1 person as the cop, and basically they would sit in a jail cell and they would have to follow your orders. But as they were doing that, they would have to try and escape, and there was different ways to escape. But like, it was just meant to be this goofy, stupid, fun, like little exercise and just like idiocy. And people ate it up. They loved it. That's how Sky Does Minecraft blew up, was like that and a few other things. But like another good example is Vanoss when he played Gmod so much in the Gmod video game, the Gmod games. And
That's where you're getting more into my territory, because
there was a big switch.
Yeah, I didn't play many video games, and I didn't play Minecraft because I didn't have a computer or an Xbox or anything at the time. But my friends in middle school were still showing me Minecraft, but then they were also showing me other, gaming related things. And so they showed me, I remember the very first Vanoss video I watched was the one where they're playing zombies, and Nogla says the iconic line, "Protect me while I tweet Snoop Dogg." And I thought that was so freaking funny.
Yeah.
And so I went down a Vanoss rabbit hole, and I'm still subscribed to him after like 5 years. His like golden era ended at least 3 years ago, probably
3 years ago.
more than that. But but I played less Minecraft back then than I did now, even just in this one winter of 2019, 2020. Back when Minecraft was like, I get Minecraft's always been there, I guess, but I feel like it particularly made a comeback about a year ago.
Yeah, dude, totally.
And even Vanoss started playing Minecraft, and that's when I started watching his videos more regularly again.
You want to know why that is?
Because they were tired of Fortnite? I don't know.
Oh my gosh, you hit it right now. I'll explain. Basically what happened is every game goes through this phase, and it's after the honeymoon phase, right?
Yeah.
So you have honeymoon into newlyweds into marriage. And this is my best analogy. You got the dating phase, the courting phase, which is the beginning phases where things are just starting to kind of kick off. People are enjoying the game. It's interesting. It's new. You love everything about it. You don't get to see the faults about it until afterwards. And then you get married, and there's the honeymoon phase. And that's when the game explodes, right? Like, it's like everything is crazy. Everything is awesome. Everybody's playing it. And every game goes through it. It's just like all marriages. All marriages have that honeymoon phase where after a little while, there's the time after they get married where it's the honeymoon, and then a few weeks after that, however long after that, where you're just in love and everything is great and awesome, and you haven't had a fight yet, and it's beautiful, right? Minecraft went through that. Fortnite went through that. And then you have the married couple phase where you actually realize, like the super bad part of the married couple phase, the early marriage, where you realize the person has faults and you point out every single one, and you hate each other in a lot of ways, and you don't want to be around each other, and you're mad, and people don't like it. It's not fun. It's not cool. You're just angry, right? And that was what everything went through. And so Minecraft had a huge honeymoon phase where everyone was watching it, and like it stayed there for a long time. And Minecraft wasn't bad until the little kids found out about Minecraft.
Yeah.
Ooh, soon as the kiddies found out about Minecraft, for a good, like, I don't know, 6-year period, right? About a 6-year period, it was a kids game. Nobody liked it besides kids with a huge player base. And there was people that actually played it that were on a younger level, but it was all more geared towards kids playing it, right? You had to censor yourself on YouTube. You couldn't swear. Actually, I liked it a lot more when you could swear on videos of like YouTube videos for Minecraft.
Yeah, because the people playing them swear so
Mhm.
often that you're just watching a video full of bleeps.
Yeah, and so it wasn't even just that. It was more just they seemed more open and they weren't trying to be like kidify. Like
Yeah.
whenever you're swearing, it's just a switch in your brain goes off where you're not trying to act like a kidified thing, right? Whereas every Minecrafter, like Minecraft YouTuber nowadays that doesn't swear whatsoever, you can totally tell it's geared towards kids. It's not mature content in any way. And a lot of the jokes are super heavily censored, and it's just like them playing the game again. I don't like that kind of stuff. I like more like wittiness as being allowed, like, creative freedom and all that stuff. And in those kind of situations, and censoring heavily limits that. I don't think you should censor anything that's for the gaming content scene or whatever. But that's just me.
Right, like, and that goes for, I think, any medium, any entertainment media. Like, as long as it does not do harm to people, there's no reason to censor it.
Yeah, it's just it goes against free speech and the ability to figure it out. And if something falls flat and there needs to be an actual conversation about it, then there needs to be a conversation about it. But until that point comes, there shouldn't be an instant everyone has to follow these rules and demands. It's crazy.
Right.
But no, and so when all that kind of came down, what happened is that Fortnite came out, right? When Fortnite came out, there was battle royales before that, but they were all in like Arma 3, and they were all mostly modded things, right? PUBG and Fortnite, very few kids got into those, or not PUBG and Fortnite, PUBG and Arma 3, very few kids, because PUBG was an Arma mod at first. It was an Arma server, and so it was I don't know if you've ever heard of Arma or played Arma, but it's a very, very tactical and difficult FPS, and sometimes third person shooter. Because what Arma is it was intended to be a army simulation, and so it's very, very real to the situation. It's very, very what's the word I'm looking for?
It's just
realistic. It's very realistic in the sense, like, you have to get bandaged up. You have to, like, most people that play it as if it's a military simulation. They simulate military and insurgencies and all that kind of stuff. So that's the whole point of it, right? So PlayerUnknown was a person that made PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which was an Arma server. It's called PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, and it was PUBG, but it was coded to be like you drop from a plane, everyone is there. There was random drops of like weapons, and that was the first battle royale, right? That was the first real battle royale in terms of like actually popularity.
There was also, I remember H1Z1.
Yeah, well. H1Z1 was also based off that PUBG style of that was. I think it was also a modded map. But H1Z1 started out very
similar.
H1Z1 started out as a standalone survival game, I think, pretty much. And then, or maybe it was based off DayZ. I don't remember the entire history of it, and correct me if I'm wrong and all that stuff. But a lot of those started as standalone zombie survivals, and then they transformed into battle royales by mimicking PlayerUnknown's style thing, right? And then PUBG came out, and that was, again, geared more towards realistic play in a sense in some ways, and also a lot heavier on the skill level. It was a lot different, and kids had a hard time getting into it because it wasn't based on, it was a lot more skillful. You had to be a lot more experienced in some ways, and it was also not intended for kids in any way, right? And then Fortnite came out. I remember seeing Fortnite come out. The first time I ever saw it was as the standalone zombie survival building game, right? It was never intended to be a battle royale at first. They saw what PUBG did, and they're like, hey, I guess we can make something like that. And they made it, and they made it free and accessible to everybody, right? And so because of that, people adored it. And this is where this leads into. Kids could play it for free. They didn't have to ask their parents to pay for it, so they could just get it. Kids got it. It was a really kid-friendly, no blood, no like innate swearing or anything like that. Cartoonish, building, right? it was intended specifically to be geared towards everybody to be able to play. And so when that happened, it made it so that all these kids, this huge wave of kids, went from Minecraft, right? Because what kept happening is that kids would be playing Minecraft and they'd grow up playing Minecraft and they weren't kids anymore. So you got this generation of people that aren't kids anymore, but still love Minecraft because they grew up playing it, right? And then the generation right behind him that's never even really heard of Minecraft, maybe seen a little bit, played it a little bit, not really, right? But they would have jumped on Minecraft if they'd given the chance. But when Fortnite came out, they couldn't jump on Minecraft because Fortnite's the new big thing. So now Fortnite's the one they're going to go to instead. And it made a cutoff, right? Kids don't play Minecraft as much anymore because the cutoff happened. And now Fortnite's the game that most kids go to. So Minecraft is now out of this honeymoon phase, out of this terrible early marriage phase, and into its comfortable, our marriage is solid, we love each other, even though we have problems, we're going to stick it out, you know? It's in that phase. It's the healthy marriage phase where it's good, it's loved, it works well. People of all ages can play it and work with it. It's not considered to be a baby game. You don't see like kids on it as much anymore. It's more a generally well-known, loved game like Tetris or things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's the highest player base, and it's just a beautiful concept. But yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's also, I feel like it has partially to do with the fact that, like, if you were in middle school or high school and you were a gamer or a nerd or somebody who like played Minecraft, or for me it was usually something Star Wars related, right? Like, oh, you like anything to do with Star Wars, you're a nerd.
Yeah.
And like everybody has that phase that they have to go through. But then once you get out of high school, everybody who secretly liked Minecraft or Star Wars, or, you know, fill in the blank of nerdy, you know, piece of media, they don't have any pressure on them anymore to hide that. And like they get back into it.
Yeah, that's why I got back into Minecraft.
Than before.
I play a lot more modded Minecraft now than I have ever played before. Like I played like 6 hours today. Or not 6 hours, like 3 or 4 hours today, just playing Minecraft with a couple of buds. Just going at it and playing some fun modded Minecraft. Because like mods were the greatest thing to ever happen to Minecraft, because Minecraft made it intentionally, like with the ability to alter it, which was awesome. They could have third-partied it or first-partied it and made it so you couldn't do anything to it unless you got special access and you had to pay for them, right?
Yeah.
And I think on Xbox you have to pay for mods. But on normal Minecraft on the computer, right, you can mod anything and change the game files in any way because it's Java and that kind of stuff, right? So it's like so accessible for everyone to do it, and so that's why there's so many, and you can make the game the way you want it to be, and change difficulties and change the way it is, and it creates an experience for everybody. Everyone that wants to have an experience in Minecraft gets to have that experience in Minecraft, you know? And I know I said kind of like the day of Let's Plays was kind of dead by that time. Minecraft turned over into more of a comedy thing, but there was a small resurgence of Let's Plays whenever Minecraft mods came out. Because when Minecraft mods were starting to kind of get popular, people were starting to Let's Play mods. You know, they would do a survival world where they would play like 150, 200 episodes of a mod, and that kind of got really big. And I thought that was really interesting. But nah, dude, it's something that's so close to my heart because it's one of the first games that I ever played, and it was just so fun. It was just so just fun to just get away from the world and be able to make my own. Literally, that's the whole point of Minecraft, is you get to craft your world the way you want to, you know. And so
it's, to me, the most. I just find it so remarkable that like it. I guess regardless of whether you were told you shouldn't like something or you just maybe grew out of it, like from what I can tell, everybody is reverting back to what they used to like in middle school. Like I've been in college a couple of years now, and everything that I used to spend my time doing in middle school is sort of what I spend my time doing now. And I feel like that's the case for a lot of people my age. Like we all have gone back to the same old music, the same old shows, the same old games.
Yeah. Your brain and body kind of want to go back to the time where you felt the most comfortable, you know. And so
Well,
for
I don't know
me,
about
yeah,
comfortable because middle school is
but the
well,
most like in a sense, not comfortable is not a good word, but like
no, well,
not
but
even
in a way
nostalgic,
because
but
in a way it is
yeah.
because I socially you're at that age where you have
Mhm.
no idea what the frick you're doing. But
Yeah.
I think there's a certain balance in the middle school years that high school doesn't have. There's a
Mhm.
certain balance of like school isn't too stressful yet because
Yeah.
it doesn't really have any lasting effect and there's not
Mhm.
too much homework and there's also enough free time for you to do what you want,
You
but there's
know,
not so much free time that you're bored.
I would sort of agree with that if not for my 8th grade year being twice as hard as my freshman year.
Really?
Yeah.
What kind of 8th grade year did you have?
It was hellish. Like our teachers, I think they changed the curriculum a little bit, but they made 8th grade year extremely difficult. And our teacher actually told us that it was going to be a lot more difficult than we thought for to prepare us for high school is what they said. They said it was going to be a year as if it was a high school year, right? And they're like, freshman year is going to be so much harder than this. This is to get you prepared. And I was like, well, this sucks. Got to freshman year. Boy, freshman year was the easiest year I've ever had in school, period.
It was a
Like,
very easy year.
there wasn't anything I had to do. The hardest class that I had was like microcontrollers, and that's just because it was intended to be cool, right?
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing about that year that actually like really affected, me in terms of like stress. I was so unstressed that year, you know. But no, I just have nostalgia hits me a lot sometimes, like especially my middle school years, not so much like my younger years.
Uh,
Because that's when I was kind of like starting to break out of a few things and you know what I'm talking about. But no, I
but
just remember, huh?
nostalgia's powerful.
And it is very powerful. Yeah, I remember like sometimes I'll smell something or hear something or see something, just a little glimpse of it, and I'll get this really odd feeling.
I'm so glad you bring that up because I had the same
Mhm.
thing, and it's
Dude,
specifically a smell, and it always happens around the
mhm.
same time of year.
Time of year, time of year.
It's usually October for me,
Mhm. For
but
me, oh,
I'll smell the breeze, and
dude,
it will. I don't know. It just has a certain thing to it where, like, literally, I'm like, this is what every day of middle school was like. Was
to
like,
me, oh, dude, there's two things. I'll give you two. I'll give you two. For me, it's summer or spring, or spring turning into summer, right? Where it's about 71 degrees outside, and the wind's kind of blowing. The trees have just turned like beautiful, beautiful, vibrant green, and you just get a whiff of it, and you're sitting there with the breeze blowing on your face. And for me, I'll look back and I'll just imagine the trampoline that used to be there when I was a kid, and I would jump on it and just have like a blast doing that. And like I don't know, man. Like those were some of the times that I actually felt joyful, especially with my past. Having such a lack of emotion in general, like having that utter joy and happiness from just like being in that kind of an area and the nature of that. Like just every time I smell that or feel that nowadays, I'm just like, oh, I wish I could go back. That was amazing.
yeah,
And then October, Halloween is one of the things that like I know as a Christian, I'm not supposed to adore Halloween, but like I love Halloween. Um, but the feeling of just being outside, you're wearing a jacket because it's like
hmm
62, 63, not super hot, no, not super cold, but just like good enough to like wear like maybe a sweater or something like that, just to kind of like feel the breeze blow on your face, and you're kind of a little chilly in that sense, like, but it's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
chilly. It's not like a bad chilly. You're not shivering. You're just, this feels super nice. And maybe you smell, like some trees like blowing in the wind, and you get that scent of grass, like, and like you're walking down a street or something like that you used to
I
walk
think
down all the time with a friend. Like,
I think of the
oh,
homecoming football game
dude,
because
yeah, that's a good one.
they kept at our school at least when I was in high school they kept moving up the homecoming football game until eventually it was in like early September, which was stupid. But back
Hmm.
in middle school, it was in the middle of October, and like the grass always smelled sweet, and it was always probably a little bit muddy because maybe it had rained a week or so ago.
Yeah.
And then I also think of like the sun setting as the game's going down, and like the coolness of the air and the hot dogs and stuff that are cooking, and like it was just a great time of year.
Dude.
For me, it's always been.
You know what? I wish I could name this episode, but I can't. I was thinking like, oh my gosh, Nostalgia Craft would be a great name, and then I remembered that's the name of the podcast that Sky Does Minecraft did with a bunch of like old YouTubers, and we can't label it that, even though it's such a good name.
Don't get us a copyright strike on our second episode, Jer.
If I'm just speaking, it won't give us a copyright strike, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I know that we were talking about yesterday how we possibly didn't want this to be as much of a serious one, but this is like, I think it ended up.
Hey,
I think this
I can make it unserious because do you want to hear a middle school story? Like,
for the last stretch, let's give it a shot. Let's hear it.
Okay, I always just like to tell this story because it was, for me, it's just the experience that I remember most vividly about middle school.
Mm-hmm.
So picture it, right? Young EvCo Productions, approximately 13 years of age, may have been 12, I don't know. But it is the 7th grade spring formal, all right? Mm-hmm. And this is the dance this is actually only my second school dance that I would have gone to. And the first one was kind of me just getting used to the whole thing. But this dance was when my friends and I had decided, okay, guys, this is the night. We're going to ask the girls that we have crushes on to dance. And like when you're in middle school, like that's the top, like that's as high as you can go, you know?
Oh, of course.
Like this was serious crap. So we make that pact. We get all dressed up and we go to the dance. I will say one side note about this dance was it had a chocolate fountain. And no dance after that ever had anything half as good as a chocolate fountain.
Oh, we had a chocolate fountain.
When did you have a chocolate fountain?
I had there was a I think it was a homecoming or a winter formal.
Really?
But it wasn't a middle school. But it was a chocolate fountain. It was a chocolate fondue fountain with cream puffs.
Really? We only had strawberries,
cream puffs, strawberries, and marshmallows. And oh my gosh, I ate copious amounts of cream puffs.
Yeah, well, we were mostly just hanging out by the chocolate fountain the whole night, except for
of course. Why would you not?
To go ask the girls to dance, and that's where the story kicks in, though, because
oh no.
So we'll call this girl Sally, all right? So I had liked Sally since like 3rd grade.
Wait, is it that Sally?
Yes, it's the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, gotcha.
I knew her before I ever went to the school that we went to.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing about Sally is she's like a year older than me, so I have to walk up to her, and like, you know how girls are in middle school, they're giant.
Oh, dude, right? They're vile.
And so I'm like the freaking I'm like a Ghostbuster looking up at the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, okay? And I'm just like, hey, you want to dance? And so she's very polite and nice about it. And so we go out on the floor and we start to do that stupid sway thing that kids do because they don't know how to actually dance.
Yeah.
And Jer, we're about a couple minutes into this slow song.
Oh, no.
And I begin to feel something around the waist.
Not
like that. I feel something, though. And it's kind of ticklish. And it's literally around my whole waist. And I'm like, what the frick could that be? And it takes me a few seconds to realize, I don't even know how I could have guessed it, but my underwear has popped a seam somehow. And it's now as if I'm wearing boxers that are 2 sizes too big for me. And because I'm wearing a suit, and the belts you wear with suits are never supposed to go that tight around you, the belt isn't tight enough to hold up the underwear inside of my pants. So as I'm swaying back and forth, the underwear is slowly sliding down my waist. I kid you not. All the way down. And thank God pants are made the way they are, because if the 2 leg sleeves didn't meet in a V shape, my underwear would have ended up around my ankles. And like, I'm trying to just, obviously nobody can tell that anything is wrong. Like Sally doesn't know.
But you know.
But I know, and I'm still like embarrassed and freaking out. Like, what if somehow she does know? And I keep
she's just
looking down to make sure that like
there's not pull your pants up, G. You're like, what the?
Yeah, I keep looking down to make sure my pants aren't suddenly like see through and that she can't tell. And so, you know, I mean, it was embarrassing for me, but at least it could have been worse. Somehow people could have figured it out, but we ended the dance. I had to go into the bathroom, and I took off the underwear, and I went commando the rest of the night.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good, man. That's a good one.
That's my most vivid middle school memory.
Oh my gosh, dude. I got some embarrassing ones, but that's at least someone can see it though. But I do have a really bad one. We'll call him Short and Stubby. So Short and Stubby is a kid that you know probably pretty well in terms of actually knowing who he is. Probably not knowing him like as for real, but knowing who he is. So Short and Stubby was the short, stubby blonde kid. Blue eyes, and he
a real Hitler Youth kid. Sorry, Short and Stubby.
No, that was not the one. Okay, no, I'm not gonna continue with that. I'm not gonna go down that path.
Don't do that.
I could, but we'll call him Starkus.
Wait, what?
We'll call him Starkus.
A Starkist. Okay.
Starkus, yeah. You guys like Stark. Like
Starkus.
So Starkus was short, chubby, blonde, blue-eyed kid. And he was known for being a troublemaker in my grade. Known for being very loud, and he I'm just gonna type it because I don't. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I don't have any idea what you're talking about now. It's gonna show it.
It's in a. I texted you on Discord.
Oh, it's him. No way.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, so Starkus. So me and Starkus didn't get along so well.
Okay.
So we were kind of okay, but I was obnoxious and he was obnoxious, and he just didn't like me because we were both obnoxious. As middle school kids tend to not like each other, right?
Right.
So what is his solution to that? We were out in the middle of the circle. You know how PE was on the circle before? Like it always started on the circle, and then you would go around the field and all that stuff. And you'd run it around. You'd run around the circle like 3 times, and you'd always try and like run faster than everyone. You're like, I'm the fast one. Or
not me. I walked it, dude.
Yeah, no, I ran it because I was an idiot. And I was like, I'm actually gonna work out. But they didn't care. I should have just walked it like everyone else. But no. So we're like arguing, and all of a sudden I feel something grab my waist, and I'm like, what's going on here? In Starkus, in all his brilliant glory, had grabbed my shorts, my PE shorts, and pantsed me in front of, I don't know, say about 20 people, 30 people, the entirety of the middle school that was out there, and our coach and everybody. But coach
and our coach who already
looked mustache. Coach Mustache.
Stash. That's what I called him.
Well,
even though
we all said hell. I can't say that. Never mind. I gotta bleep that out. I gotta bleep that one out.
Half the people listening to this know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm gonna bleep it out. But we used to always say that. But he, I don't know if he actually saw because he didn't say anything about it until I told him. But Starkish pantsed me.
Mm-hmm.
In my decision is I'm gonna pull out my pants. I got really pissed at him. So you know what I started doing? He was laughing really hard. I was not laughing. I was like, I'm gonna kick him in the balls really hard. And so I tried.
Just knew you were gonna say that. I knew you were gonna.
I went at him like about 50 times until the point where he was just like, I'm gonna, if you touch me again, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue you for all you're worth. And if I told him in the story now, because we're actually not bad, we're on good terms now. If I told him this story now, he'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. He'd be like, wow, that was so dumb. Like, because he threatened to sue me. And I said, yeah. And I already hit him like 2 times in the balls, and I kept trying to hit him even more. But dude, getting pantsed in public, especially when you had my temperament when I was a middle schooler, like, dude, we got put to the principal's office, and he started crying. Like, he actually cried because he felt not bad, but was like so just frustrated with me trying to kick him straight in the nuts for like a good 15 minutes. But I did not let up. I was a machine.
For a second, I thought you meant the principal started crying. I was like, that doesn't sound right.
No. I did make a girl cry once. I made a girl cry once by laughing at her because she was crying about One Direction splitting up.
Okay.
But it wasn't like a jerk laugh. I was concerned for her at first, right? So I was concerned for her. She's bawling her eyes out. I'm like, are you okay? What's going on? Is something wrong? And then she just sobbing points into her locker, and it's a One Direction poster. And I heard about it on the news that morning. I just go, and I walked away. I didn't think it. I think my exact words were like, "Are you serious?" And I just laughed and walked away. But like, I got called to the principal's office, and three of us got yelled at because all three kids had the same reaction. Had tried to go help her and see if she was okay, and then we got yelled at because we were laughing at the fact that she was crying, sobbing about One Direction breaking up. And the principal's like, you could tell that he just had to punish because there was nothing else he could do. If the parent would have gotten mad,
I would have been laughing too once I heard of it.
Like, of course, but like he was just like, your beliefs in what you like might not line up with her. So what would you do? Something like that happened to you? And I was like, honestly, so I don't know. I probably wouldn't cry, but like, nah. But it was just so dumb and funny. But like, it was ironic that I had at first gone to be, a caregiver and a caretaker in that situation, and ended up being like the bad guy somehow. But,
yeah.
But no. But yeah, that's one of my embarrassing stories.
But Jer, the real villain was One Direction.
Of course.
They
should have never
always
split,
be the case.
But
no, I just mean like for existing.
Oh yeah, no, I know, I'm messing. Well, that seems like the amount of time we have for our episode. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Or listening / watching.
As always, go check out EvCo Productions.
Productions.
By the time this one is out, there will probably be a new video.
Yeah.
Not a major one, but just a little 30-second one.
Sorry for the abrupt ending, by the way. I definitely was trying to find a way to lead into an outro, but I couldn't. So I just was like, you know what? Nope, I'm done.
This is the outro right here.
This is the outro. There is no there's no meaning to anything.
Violently cut off in the middle of our talking that we're doing right now.
Oh,
it is.